We're back in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Still protest-related subject matter about ending SARS, the outcome as a result of some of the businesses that have been hit by that. Well, Lagos appears to be doing something about it. And that's why we've got Teju Abisoye joining us now. She's the Executive Secretary and CEO, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today on the program. Well, Lagos did take a hit. All right, Lagos did take a hit about this, and we understand your agency is doing something about all of this. So just give us a background. What are you doing? What's going on at the moment?
Thank you very much. So at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, our mandate has always been to address youth unemployment in Lagos State. And we've done this strategically by working with small businesses, giving them low interest rate loans to increase productivity so that they can employ more people. We understand what has happened to a lot of these small businesses. And what we've now set up is an MSME, Lagos MSME Recovery Fund, to actually help the businesses that have been affected by the vandalization and the looting so that they can get up on their feet and begin to thrive very quickly, despite what has happened in the last few days. That's what we're focused on right now. But at LSETF, our mandate is always to address youth unemployment, and we have different programs addressing this.
So, about these businesses that have been hit, so what are the requirements? How do they get across? Which business can get across?
So we're working with micro businesses, we're working with small businesses, we're working with any size of business that actually have been affected. We sent out on all our social media platform, on our website, we sent out the links for businesses to apply or make a claim for this fund. Any business can apply as long as you have evidence of the looting. One of the things we're also doing is we will send out verification partners who will come and ascertain and evaluate the claims that each business is making. The fund is being managed by a steering committee because it's not only Lagos State government that has put money in this fund, it also includes the private sector. And the steering committee would determine each claim based on the verification and evaluation report provided by the business development support partners.
A challenge many micro and small businesses have is that of documentation. Many of them don't have the right papers. Some are not registered. Of course, you know the figures that of the 40 million or thereabout, just a fraction of them are duly registered. Is that going to be a problem for them to access this fund?
So what we're doing is the structure for verification will then include your neighbor who knows you in the local government, who can verify, who can ascertain that you really were a business. Are you part of an association? Aside that, in the market, I always know that in the market they know each other very well. So we've worked with them and we know that reality. So other people will know you in the market that can ascertain that your business was existing pre-vandalization and you were a going concern. Now, where we cannot determine any of that, there will be a cap in terms of what kind of amount those kind of micro businesses will be able to get. But it also presents an opportunity to actually help a lot of them formalize, bank them now, and see how we can help them improve their results, even for themselves as a business, because that's our mandate.
Is there a timeline to this privilege that the Lagos State government is giving to people? Is there a timeline, and is it only limited to those who have these unfortunate attacks on their businesses?
Okay, no, so at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, the MSME Recovery Fund, we've left a window up till the 31st of October for businesses to apply, because now we need to make sure we can turn around those claims very quickly. What we want to be able to do is in the next 12 days, we want to begin to pay. That's the first thing. But there are other opportunities that are available at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund right now. So what we had approved before this incident was the Lagos State Economic Acceleration Program, which was supposed to benefit businesses that had been affected by the COVID lockdown. And one of it's sector-specific program. So you will hear we launched our program with the First Bank, which was targeted at the education sector that had been badly hit by the lockdown. We have in agriculture, we have in renewable energy, and we have the loans that are sector agnostic as well in our partnerships with different private sector banks. So there are other opportunities at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund for small businesses, and it's not just for people who have been hit at by the vandalization or the looting that took place over the last few days. Also for skills, we have training programs in partnership with the UNDP, the USADF, and the GIZ, where we're telling youths who are not employed to take up this opportunity, get trained, and we place you in jobs. For the past 2 years, we've trained over 5,000 people, placed over 60% in relevant jobs in the industry as a matter of fact. So we actually want to help any young person that doesn't have a job. Look on our websites. There are different programs available, not just for small businesses, also for people to take up skills that are relevant and required in the public space right now.
Just a moment before my colleague comes in. You said your establishment is for employment. Given documentations all over the place, what's the number the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund is working with in terms of the number of people that this program of your agency can take on? How many millions of people or how many thousands of people are you looking to put in gainful employment?
Okay, so government addresses many issues. Unemployment is one of it. So for us at LSETF, our target numbers also depends on the available funds. So we, for example, for the MSME Recovery Fund right now, we've received over 2,000, as of today, over 2,500 applications across different local governments that we need to support. We want to raise, at least for that particular initiative, to be able to raise at the minimum 2.5 billion naira in partnership with the private sector. We have partners like Access Bank, Polaris Bank, First Bank joining us. Flutterwave, we're going to be using it. In partnership with Flutterwave, we'll be crowdfunding so that fund, if we get to 5 billion, it will be exciting for us because then
madam, just one moment, madam. Just one moment. I'm not sure you. The figure I'm asking for is not the ones that have approached you. Before the agency was set up, there was definitely a need, a gap. How many people are in the unemployment market that the LSETF was set up to bridge the gap of?
Okay, pre-COVID, we were at unemployment rate of about 23%. I can't remember the figures accurately. But post-COVID, we are now at about 27%. And that tells us that number has really. In Lagos, for example, you have 85 people arriving every hour looking for greener pastures. But at the time LSETF was set up, we were hoping to be able to create at a minimum 300,000 jobs direct and another 600,000 indirect jobs at a minimum at about a value of 25 billion naira was the original strategy. Now we're working that to see the reality again. By 2021, we would have new strategic figures, looking at what is the numbers and what we've been able to do with the money we used. So, for example, we've supported over 11,000 businesses with over 7 billion naira. And with those businesses, have created over 100,000 jobs. That was as of December 2018. We should be doing another impact evaluation at the end of this year. And that would inform the numbers and the strategy we're looking at post-2021.
Is there any consideration, for instance, private people who park their cars in front of any of those businesses that were raised? And then what about private property?
Yeah, so if it's a business, our target, our concern really is the business. We want to get them back to work. We want to make sure they can thrive. Because look, every business affected means jobs have been lost. A minimum, today that tells me a minimum of 2,500 jobs are lost. That is a minimum. we need to make sure that these businesses get back up immediately. They thrive, and we can put more people to work immediately as well.
So is this going to be just for this period? Because, I mean, there are people who talk about, there are certain businesses that are in similarly volatile areas where any little thing, their businesses could just easily be touched or affected. So does that suggest that even after now, if any of such thing occurs in any of those businesses, they can always come to you?
The recovery fund, we think, has a life of maximum of 6 months for now. That is what we have planned as of today. If the long-term strategy actually recognizes the need to always have this fund, and so that if any business is affected at any time, then we would look at that and decide, also thinking about the fact that it's a steering committee. It's an ad hoc committee from every partner that is in the fund, so that we can all take a decision and say, look, we want to continue to have this fund available in case businesses need it in the future. But for now, what we have is a lifespan for this particular fund.
Now, I don't know, this may not be within your purview, but I'm just wondering, is there any conversation, any suggestion whatsoever about maybe the state doing something about insurance or insurance companies, or advising business owners with what to do with insurance moving forward, so that some of these things can, they can equally just get insured and insurance companies play their role?
So as of yesterday, we're in conversation with some insurance. My understanding is a lot of people will insure, but not against riot or against civil unrest. A lot of them have insured against arson, life, theft. That's what most of the businesses, at least formalized businesses, have insured on. But right now we want to work with insurance companies first to see, even the informal businesses, how do we get the minimum micro insurance that can cover this kind of losses in the future? So we're actually talking to quite a number of them right now. We intend to roll it out and explain the benefit of insurance to businesses as we do this recovery for them this time.
Well, we understand that there is some financial institution that is trying to put out some fund to support some of the businesses and perhaps even give employment and all of that. Is there any conversation you are having with certain private sector organizations to facilitate this, or is it just something that is exclusively government?
It's not exclusive government. I was saying that we're in conversation with Access. They brought out this fund they want to do, and they will support us with the grant element. We're in conversation with Polaris. They will support us with some funds to include in the recovery fund. We're in conversation with First Bank, Eco Bank, as many of the financial institutions stand big. So with our partners, Flutterwave, we are approaching not just financial institutions, but high net worth individuals, people who are interested in MSME recovery. The steering committee is made up of institutions like Faith Foundation, the EDC, WIMBIS, Endeavor Nigeria. And the idea is to make sure that we really focus on the interest of the MSMEs. Nobody's left behind, and claims are evaluated with market.
All right then, Teju Abisoye, Executive Secretary and CEO, LSETF. Thank you for your time and well done.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you.